Hello everyone, Johnny Mind here, and today we are continuing to learn Japanese with Zelda II, The Adventure of Link. Last time we left Ruto Town. We found and got what we had to get, well, a letter technically, even though we didn't get it as an item from Bagu. Then we got other things in the overworld, but most importantly we arrived at Saria. And there we used, we got a new spell, because we found the mirror there. That was required to get into the house that had the spell, the life spell. And then with the quote-unquote letter that Bagu gave us, we crossed the river, and so now we are outside of Saria, on the other side of the river, and yeah, we'll continue from there today, and we'll see what happens from there. And yeah, without further ado, let's start. And yeah, we still have to load our save state. And yeah, as you can see here, this is Saria Town. Actually, I can quickly show it just to even though we got loading screen there. Yeah, the water town Saria. And yeah, in Japanese here, Mizunomachi Saria. But yeah, we've seen that last time, so yeah, let's leave again. And yeah, now that we are on this side, we have to enter this cave, and yeah, we'll see what we get from there. And yeah, actually, from there we get here, and yeah, this is technically this Death Mountain. And you might know about this if you have played this game or even just heard of it. Yeah, this area is pretty infamous because it's a maze. As you can see, we have several caves. But yeah, of course, as usual, we have our map. Technically also walk through, but yeah, I'm mostly using it for the map. But yeah, in this case, it shows the correct path, and yeah, I gladly take it since we don't want to waste too much time losing our way. It will be tough anyway. As you can see, we still have enemies. Well, for now we are fine thanks to the sword beams, as you can see. And for that, actually, it will be pretty nice, the life spell we got last time. If we get low on health, or we're not at full health anymore, we can use that. Although, yeah, I suspect we'll have to rewind anyway, but we'll see. Okay, this one. Okay, perfect. We can continue then. As you can see now that we have taken that one, here we don't have another choice for now, so yeah, we'll continue here. Yeah, it's too bad that you don't know your destination, because honestly, even just that would help you realize which is the correct path, even without trial and error. You'd be able to guess it. Yeah, a Korea here. Yeah, too bad that we got hurt, so no more sword beams for us. But at the same time, we should be fine. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, here we still have to continue here, clearly. We don't have another choice. Yeah, we have these paths. I'm not sure if these ones are called keys like in other Zelda games. I don't know the exact Japanese names either way. Oh, this enemy is quite annoying. I had heard of it, but yeah, I don't know if I have to take the elevator or not. Well, let me quickly check where we go with the elevator. The elevator takes us there. Let's actually check to the right then first. Okay, this is the path forward according to the map, but yeah, again, even if you know where you have to go other than generic down, well, of course, generic down, you might guess it on your own, but yeah, to the right or to the left, yeah, it's actually to the right, so as we'll see soon enough. I want to quickly check though what is up there, because I'm curious. I wanted to use here we have these. Yeah, we clearly have to use the life spell if we want to survive in this situation. And even then, I'm not sure if we'll be able to. Yeah, not the best here. Okay, yeah, this actually takes you elsewhere that we don't want to go to. So yeah, to the right, I presume there's. We'll actually quickly check again, but just to satisfy our curiosity. But yeah. Yeah, the ice spell quite nice, but it takes a lot of magic. This enemy is really annoying, especially in this position here. And especially if you don't get all the hits one after the other. Yeah, no, you really don't want to go there. Okay, yeah, perfect. So yeah, we'll actually go down here. For now, we won't even use our life spell, even though it's annoying to have the beeping sound. But yeah, we want to go here. I shouldn't wait that long. But let me see if I can get outside of here without actually took even more damage, but oh well. Yeah, we want to go now here. We might actually need the life spell soon enough, but we'll see. Yeah, we have this bridge with this again this skeletal fish. This bridge on the lava. Okay, yeah. Even more so considering that we can get if we can get it again. Okay. Oops, not this. This. Oh boy, yeah. Still quite annoying, especially with these projectiles. But yeah, this is where we wanted to go. Then we have this. Not having magic is really annoying. Yeah, we actually have a potion of some kind there, but we would need the jump spell, and we don't have enough magic. Oh boy, yeah, defeating this enemy without health will be problematic to say the least, but let's give it a try. Okay, I can't believe that I actually survived there, but yeah, you really have to avoid these. Oh boy. I have doubts, so let's actually go back here and try to keep some more life. Right, as soon as I say it, I think I'm actually losing even more of it. Let's run. Yeah, no, unfortunately, I think we have to make do with these. Yeah, this enemy. Oh boy. Honestly. Yeah, let's do these. Now, because you lose a continual life technically, but yeah, at least you get your health restored. Yeah, I'd rather avoid that as much as possible, but and also magic as we. Sorry, not that. Well, of course, now I have to. Let's use it in time this time. I could technically have kept it to. Well, for now, let's try doing it this way. Yeah, I have doubts, to be completely honest. So yeah, let's actually take another approach. Since we have that, let's actually use the jump magic to jump up here. Or at least I hope I can jump. Yeah, I actually can't. Yeah, no, so we actually do have, unless I'm missing something, we actually do have to defeat that really annoying enemy. We can, however, use the shield spell to make these hits hurt less. Of course, having all these around is still annoying. I wonder if I can still use. Let me quickly see. Nope, we don't have enough magic for also that. So yeah, let's retry. Yeah, I had heard of this part of that enemy, and yeah, it's quite annoying, but yeah, let's do it properly from the start this time. Yeah, not by losing that. By rewinding here. Let's use the shield spell immediately. Defeat these enemies while we still have. Well, we can also. Yeah. Actually, sword beams don't work against these. Yeah, let's hit our enemy here. Okay, we have a chance here with that magic. Yeah, let's with that. Let's use our life magic. Oh, okay, finally. Finally we got rid of that enemy. Okay. This should be the right path. Yes, it is. Okay, we have to continue there and yeah. Okay. What's worrying is if we encounter, well, even just a gorilla is annoying in our situation. Although, of course, nothing as bad as those enemies. I don't remember their name though. Let's do it like this. Yeah, what's annoying about the gorillas is the boomerangs from all sides. Actually, you know what? That's... Oh boy, yeah, and of course we have another one of those on the other side. Okay, let's try defeating the gorilla then. To be careful about these low boomerangs. Okay, 50. Too bad that it isn't enough. So we have to deal with this enemy also. Oh boy. Which will be quite annoying. Well, we could technically take the hit and restore our health that way, but of course that's a last resort. Yeah, we really needed it before, but yeah, in this case I'll actually try to do it simply by rewinding. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we can't lose all our time against these enemies. The show must go on, as I mentioned. Of course, considering that we have to use also some more time in our case, because we have to learn Japanese when we find more writings, which we might get to that point even in this very episode, but we'll see. I'm tempted to use a life, but at the same time I have to be careful here. Yeah, when it gets this close to there, it's impossible to do anything else. Let me quickly check one thing, because I'm forgetting. If all the enemies come back... okay, no. So yeah, we got rid of the gorilla. Okay, yeah. Then it's somewhat worth it. We could use a shield. Actually... let me do a little thing since we have... let me use our... okay. And yes, so we can actually level up magic instead of life. I'm tempted by attack, but yeah, we need more magic clearly. Now that we are starting to get spells and some pretty useful ones at that. But that I've already lost our... let's actually go slightly back then to try to keep our sword beams a little more, if possible. And the trajectory of these paths is annoying, but it's doable. Yeah, honestly, nothing. So far, nothing is as bad as those enemies we have just seen. The new enemies. Yeah, makes sense. And yeah, we should be on the right track here. Yes, we are. And yeah, we can continue then. please jump up. Nope, or move away, thank you. Either works. Yeah, we have this again. Too bad that, as you can see, apparently the sword beams do not work. This reminds me of not as effective, but it reminds me of hitting. What's his name? The Rhino boss, the Rhino enemy in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, the NES game, which funny enough I had as a kid, and with Donatello you could hit it from above a ledge and avoid taking damage. Doubt it was intended, but yes. Okay, interesting. Okay. Yeah, for now let's... Oh boy, we might have to use life. We want actually to use life magic immediately. Then, if we can get that magic, we would be golden. I want to use the shield clearly. Yeah, thank you. Okay, nice. Okay, so let's continue here. Yeah, where? Yeah, you might guess now what our destination is. Yeah, we take this. It's pretty easy to see. Yeah, no. Here, if we do have a shield, enough for shield, I doubt it. Yeah, no, we don't. But yeah, that would have been the absolute best. But yeah, let's actually go down then. Let's take some hits here. Then I'll try doing it. No. Yeah, no, this way it doesn't work with that. So yeah, we have simply to push it back. Yeah, okay. Yeah, with these regular ones, it's still doable. Yeah, the stronger variant was really, really bad, as we have seen. We needed full health to even have any chance to defeat it. Yeah, this one's much easier. Yeah, please move away. Thank you. Okay, we're getting actually these. Yeah, okay, actually restores magic. Perfect. And yeah, with that, we've finally left Death Mountain. Yeah, you can see why, combined with the maze part, it's pretty tough. Okay, now that we have... yeah, I think they're called... okay, these enemies are Daira. The new enemy, the new quite annoying enemy. Since I was quickly seeing here on the walkthrough. Yeah, we simply have to now go here first and foremost. Then we'll see a little something here quickly. Well, actually, I can start mentioning it. This is a Spectacle Rock. You might remember it from the first Zelda, and keep that in mind, as we'll see why in a second. Yeah, first let's go in here. I actually read some magic there, so I'll actually use the life spell. Not fully. Yeah, these bats that transform, we have seen them before. Have to be... yeah, nearer there, but we did it. We have these jumping enemies, quite annoying, but yeah. Still nothing compared to what we have seen so far. Yeah. these, especially the stronger variant. Yeah, let's actually go back. We have some magic. Let's use the shield. As a reminder, to use the magic, you have to open the menu, select it, and then press select the button. Okay, now we have these. If we choose attack, then we will get simply attack, which is nice, but yeah, unfortunately neither magic nor life would be restored. I think I'm going for magic again for now. Yeah, we can quite use it. I don't know if I have to... I suspect I might have to go down there to get what we are here in for. Not sure what's to the right, but yeah, let's take the elevator first. Funny enough, the elevator stops. Oh boy, yeah, we have another one of these. Let's use... let's see if we can use both shield this time and life. Yeah, after getting more magic, yes. Yeah, we might need it. You know, actually, I think we'll have to restore our health again like this. And then do that. But yeah, glad we can use shield and also life if needed, which most likely we will need. Okay, now, okay, actually got really lucky there and got... these might not be defeatable, at least for now. Let's ignore them. Might be just an obstacle. Oh wow, this is simply for some magic. Let's hope it's to the right then. Yeah, here I'm not sure what the correct path is. So. Oh boy, yeah, we have another one of these. Let's actually go back here, use shield. We might have to use also life. Okay. Let me quickly see if we can actually defeat it. That's nice to get rid of it, and that's it, but at the same time you lose the experience, which we kind of need here. Although honestly, yeah, I don't think we'll be able to hit it enough times without... Yeah, let's actually make it drop. I'm worried also about it coming back that way, but oh well. Let's see here. Maybe I'm even taking the straight up the wrong path here. Wouldn't be surprised. Okay, here. Technically we could use... let's actually stick to shield for now. Even though we could use life. Okay, now we unfortunately have to heal first the magic, and then... Oh, yeah, okay, no. We really have to use life to defeat this then. Oh boy. And even like this, we are having issues. But yeah, you might have barely seen what we are here for. So yeah, this is the correct path. Unfortunately, we have to deal with this nonsense. bad that we don't have enough. Maybe jump could help in this case, but yeah, we don't have enough magic for that. And we really need the life here. Okay, we got some good hits there. We might be able to make it. Okay, yeah, we did. And yeah, that's the hammer. We can actually see it on the screen. This is a proper item, unlike Bugs letter, as mentioned. And yeah, so this is where what we came here for. I'm curious about what's up. But of course, let's try to not to die here. Please fall. Thank you. Fall into the lava instead of making us fall into the lava. And yeah, unfortunately, this is back. And yeah, with that, actually, you get the return of Ganon. Ganon. And yeah, here it actually you get the continue or save screen. Unfortunately, oh boy, yeah. Considering that, and yeah, you start back here, as you can see. So yeah, let's actually see if we can avoid that. And you, although yeah, I have some doubts. Yeah, that's the problem with. And also, as you might have noticed, we have the less when it comes to the levels. Although, oh boy, yeah, dealing with these without anything. Okay, let's see if I can use a shield in time. Yeah, even with that, I think we'll be done. So, assuming I can actually make it work in time here. Doubts. Yeah, unfortunately, I think we are forced, but yeah, at least we got to see what happens there. I take it as an occasion to properly save in our save file. But yeah, you get sent back to the North Palace, as you can see. Let's see if we can make it despite that. Because I think with the hammer we should have unlocked a shortcut. Because I think, yeah, now we can get rid of these, as you might know. You might have, well, we have actually heard of it from an NPC. So yeah, we knew about it. Yeah, it actually show in reverse where we would have got. Yeah, we have a town there, actually. Don't want to deal with these. But we might, okay. Let's... yeah, this is actually where we would have gone after. Well, there's technically more, but we'll see it in a second. Okay, this is the bridge, I think. Yeah, we want to go back to that... Oh boy, yeah, we have one of these even here. Really, really annoying. shield, of course, we want. This enemy is the absolute worst. Yeah, unfortunately with the less magic we can't even heal it. I really have to go here. Quickly. I'm doing worse there. Okay, that hit, fine. Well, not this one. Yeah, we want to get enough hits before we get hit by this freaking enemy. Honestly, getting hit by the enemy itself is the least of our worries. It's the axes or whatever. Yeah, I think there is supposed to be axes that it throws that are the biggest issue. Honestly, I wonder if I can. Okay, I have a strategy. Well, I still use a shield because otherwise we'll be done. So yeah, let's start from here. First and foremost, shield, then jump. Yeah, we'll try to jump above it, then avoid these. Yeah, we want to simply avoid this enemy. Boy, don't tell me that. Okay. Okay, this is doable, so let's actually go back. Let's be patient here against the moblin. Yeah, this is fine. But yeah, funny enough, I'm actually showing in reverse what we are supposed to do, I'm pretty sure. Might be wrong, but I hope I'm not. Okay, yeah. You might recognize these from before, yeah. To the left we have all the caves for that mountain. We have this cave to get back, finally, to where we were. Let's avoid getting such useless hits here. From the Octoroks. Then, of course, I have to actually jump. These I simply have to be patient. Okay, and we're finally back here. Oh yeah, I'll quickly show a little something that it's pretty cute. Notice that we had a spectacle rock above there. Here we have a cemetery. Here we have some woods. As soon as I can get outside of this again. Die. Some woods. These these bodies of water. And yeah, you might actually recognize it. Yeah, this is the map from the first Zelda. In a much smaller scale, of course. But yeah, it's a really nice Easter egg. and continue. So it shows that the overworld of the first Zelda technically is part of the overworld of this second game. Yes, so you could think the rest of the map was here all this time, kind of like in Banjo-Tooie, as we'll see when we play first Banjo-Kazooie and then Banjo-Tooie eventually for this channel, of course, because I do want to play those. Okay, but now we want to go back. Yeah, we got the hammer, which was actually we got that before dying, otherwise we would have been in trouble. Yeah, with that we can get rid of this boulder. Didn't know about this animation. Yeah, we get a magic container. And yeah, actually, as you have seen, the heart containers and magic containers are quite important, as they those you keep without any setbacks, even if you get a game over, and they literally extend your power, life, health, or magic power. And yeah, so I suspect we actually are back in the in the cave with the hammer, but on the right this time, above. Yeah, we'll see in a second. I really need to use. Okay, no, actually it was separate. Okay, but even better then. Yeah, but after that, I think we actually have to now go back from where we came from. And we actually want to do that, also considering that there are some extras. Let me see. Yeah, now we have to go there. So yeah, let's do all that. Yep, it really is fun to play Zelda games in general. This one is also pretty tough at times, but yeah, we luckily, with of course the help of rewinding, we managed to do it without too many issues. Yeah, so we have to go back in here. Okay, interestingly enough, the enemies stayed defeated there. Let's go back here. Yeah, it takes some loading since we have these. Yeah, and we have to cross, unfortunately, the bridge again to get to the other side where the big graveyard was, as well the big graveyard area, which is, well, not exactly that, but that general area is our destination. So yeah, let's do this. Unfortunately, that means we have that enemy again after this. This is the list of our worries. These enemies. But of course, we should still be careful. I like what I did there, but... oh well. Yeah, we don't have enough magic for the jump here. So I actually take the hit here, and we use our strategy again, because, sorry, but Well, I'll give it one more try. This. Even though, yeah, I have serious doubts. Okay, it's going somewhat better here, but yeah. Okay, yeah, we managed to do it this time. Get the low health again by over. Okay. Yeah, not that. See if we can get... around here, there should be a link doll. As we'll see soon enough after this... this random nonsense. It should be like... okay, yeah, it was slightly... It's here, yeah. So yeah, we get our continue back after losing it from that enemy. From here, yeah, our immediate next destination is the town we've actually seen already. Let me quickly check a little something before that, though. Yes. Okay, no. We want to go... well, at least the walkthrough suggests going to the other location marked on the map. And yeah, we'll actually do it since we also need it. Let's destroy this rock. Then this other rock, which we ignored before. Let's enter this. These enemies are might be defeated, but not while they stay that low, at least for now. Okay, yeah, okay, let's rewind and do things as intended. First and foremost, life, even though I wanted technically the shield before it because of that. Oh boy, we don't have enough for the shield, so... Okay, let's actually... You know, but we do need the life, so... Let's do it like this. Unfortunately, that combination of enemies there, the gorilla and the other enemy, yeah, the gorilla is the issue as usual. Okay, not as much as the new enemy, but we still have to be careful. Of course not. Then it goes for a low hit there. The magic isn't enough, as we have seen for other spells. Yeah, let's continue here. And yeah, here I actually think I got a thing before we were supposed to. Not sure where that other thing was then. But yeah, let's take, yeah, we have a heart container here, let's take it, we need it. Okay, let's leave. I'll quickly check what we were supposed to, and then we'll go to the town. And yeah, when we get to the town, we'll check its name, but yeah, then we'll take our usual break, and then we'll go around the town. Okay, let me quickly check. Okay. Yes. I think, okay, I might have an idea. So yeah, it was actually that, I think, then. Yeah, because the guide mentioned a water of life, but that might be a thing if you have already got a heart container. But yeah, we might have actually, unfortunately, I think that then you actually lose them. Also those, if you lose. But yeah, either way, I think it was referring to that anyway. I could have got a certain something also, but yeah, let's ignore all that. It's nothing essential anyway. Let's enter the town. And yeah, we get this Minato Machi Mido. First and foremost, we have Minato. We check its accent as usual. But as for its meaning, it means harbor, port. Unaccented. Okay. I suspect, and so I'll actually check Wiktionary to confirm it. And I vaguely remember this origin. That the mi is from Mizu, water, unaccented on its own. The shorter form we've seen also in Izumi, spring, literally water coming out. Then we have na, which we have seen also in other Japanese compounds. Now, also like in this case, written as with a single kanji, and technically considered a single word, but yeah, originally there were compounds. Na is an alternative classical form of no, the possessive particle, so of water. And then to, which we have seen, means door in general. Technically, well, more in general, we could say entrance. So yeah, literally would be water entrance. There are some that, but that's just a theory. There are other ones that go against it, but yeah, honestly, I'd even though it might not be the actual origin, I'd keep that in mind, since it makes it easier to remember it, honestly. And yeah, honestly, actually, I see that what they mentioned as the reason for it not to be the origin, we have seen it's the fact that Mizu has technically different, a peculiar origin in even older than Japanese, so-called Proto-Japonic. But yeah, we have seen in practice also other words with mi for Mizu, so yeah, keep that in mind as the origin of the word, either way. Then we have Machi again, which we have seen, town. Its accent should be on the last syllable, and it is. So yeah, the harbor town, port town. technically there could be a different accent if you consider this Minato Machi as a compound, even though I technically don't think you can even find it in dictionaries as such. But yeah, honestly, since Minato, as we have seen, was unaccented, I keep that unaccented as is, and then keep the accent of Machi, even though in this case it's the accent is on the last syllable, so it's the same as an unaccented word, since we don't have anything else after it, no particles. Yeah, last but not least, the proper name Mido. Yeah, another Zelda name that came from this game. But yeah, so with that, we'll take our usual break now, and in around 5 minutes we'll be back, and yeah, we'll start going around this town. Yeah, see you in around 5 minutes. Oops, sorry, not this. This. And we are back. Okay, we can continue. I've actually seen that we do need the water of life. So we'll actually have to find it somewhere. I have to actually see where it is. But for now, we can still go around the town. We most likely get a dialogue thanks to that, an additional dialogue, unlike other times where we got we skipped some by getting the goddess statue beforehand and so on. But yeah, for now let's go around town anyway. Okay, now I see where it is. Okay, yeah, so we'll see it in a second. Yeah, first let's go around the town for now. Yeah, the usual man in a hurry. The woman that says hello, these are the random NPCs, the usual ones. We have this woman moving back and forth. Well, this is the usual, I don't know, Shiranaiwa. Yeah, this is the usual one that heals you. Yeah, we'll do it anyway. You can quickly check the writings again, but yeah, we've seen them before. Yeah, that thing happens because we were at full health. Okay. This is a new dialogue. So we'll check it, of course. And actually, a hint I can already see about a certain something we have to do here. This woman says, Konomachi no kyokai, shinpu inai no ni, itsumo kane ga naru wa. First and foremost, we have the usual kono from the koso a do series. Ko close to both the speaker and the listener. So far from the speaker close to the listener, a far from both. Do the interrogative, koso a usually an accent, do accent on the first syllable, so on the do itself. With no, we have the demonstrative adjective, this, and yeah, followed in our case by machi again. So, this town. Then we have the possessive particle in its usual form in contemporary Japanese, no. But yeah, you can see why na, most likely in those, in such compounds like potentially minato, and the other ones we have seen before. Might be simply an alternative form. Yeah, it's quite similar. Possessive particle, so of this town, connecting it to the following noun, which is kyokai. We check its accent, but the word, well, it's a Chinese compound, hopefully it's unaccented. It means it could have several meanings depending on the kanji we use, but yeah, in this case, I can already tell you that it's the one that means church. Both as in the institution, church, congregation, also as the meaning. The accent is an accent, so like the most common accent for Chinese compounds. As a reminder, by Chinese compounds I intend usually the simplest ones, and so of 2 kanji, 2 characters. Of course, we can technically have bigger ones, but yeah, the most common ones are those of 2 characters, and they usually are unaccented, lucky enough. There are some exceptions, but we have seen them, we see them again. But yeah, this is, as I mentioned, church, congregation. So yeah, also as the institution, the congregation of the members of a certain church. But yeah, also, and this is our case, literally the building, simply. So yeah, a church, as in the building. And yeah, in our case, the church of this town. Then we have this term, Shimpu. Which, yeah, technically it could have different meanings depending on the kanji again. But yeah, in this context, most likely means Shimpu is the one Shimpu accented on the first syllable. So yeah, we see the second most common accent for Chinese compounds. And yeah, it's on the first syllable, on the first mora, to be more specific. It's most likely the one for priest, Catholic priest, or Reverend Father, minister, so on. Yeah, doubt, even though with church it could still make sense, but yeah, not in this case, I'd say. Well, technically, it could be in a sense. Shimpu can also mean bride. There's a Chinese compound that means that, even though, as we see, the most common word for bride is yome, unaccented. And there's also a compound with yome, but yeah, let's not go further into that for now. But yeah, either the bride could make more sense considering also the letter, but yeah, more, I'd say more likely minister, priest. Then we have the inclusive particle mo, also, even, as we'll see in this case actually with a negative, so not even. Yeah, because after that we have the verb inai, from iru, to be as in to exist, of animate things, and so people and animals. For inanimate ones we have aru, objects or concepts. But yeah, in our case we have iru, unaccented, but that one like aru. It's aru verb, it's then verb, so we can drop the ru and add nai. Nai on its own is an adjective which means non-existent, used with technically this would be the irrealis form, the not yet state form, as I also mentioned it, call it based on its Japanese name. But yeah, when you use that form of the verb plus nai, you make the negative form of the verb in plain speech. Present or future, in this case without further conjugation of nai. So in this case, even though there isn't, because to be as in to exist, Iru, so also there are. But yeah, in our case there isn't even a priest. Then we have in this case it's technically a conjunction, no-ni. Technically called here as a particle, but yeah, it's better as a conjunction technically in this case. This one, it could seem like a combination of no and ni, the two individual particles. But honestly, I'm not completely sure. It could still be, but not in the usual senses, if that's the case. There is another usage of no, ni actually as the two particles with verbs, but we'll see it in another case. This one, no ni, means although, despite, even though. And yeah, so makes sense. Although there isn't even a priest implied the church of this town, could be also an implied particle, topic particle for the as for the church of this town, even though although there isn't even a priest. And then we can continue. We have Itsumo. From Itsu. When, the interrogative pronoun accent on the first syllable, which means when. And like for other pronouns, interrogative pronouns, we can add ka or mo. Also the mo we have seen. But yeah, in our case we have mo to make the corresponding any word. So in our case we have when, so actually any time. And yeah, in this case, while often these words with the mo, the interrogative pronoun plus mo, are used in the negative, not anyone, not anything. And so, of course, then it becomes, even though literally that's the construction in Japanese, then they become also nobody, nothing. But yeah, in this case, those can be used technically in the affirmative, but yeah, Itsumo more often than not is used in the affirmative. Can be used also in with the negative verb, but yeah, more often than not you see it with affirmative ones, and yeah, to mean anytime, and so yeah, actually always. Yeah, as I mentioned, we can also use the mo. Notice that mo is again the inclusive particle, like the ones the one we have seen above. Also even, yeah, that you can see why that then it gives the any meaning to those words. Wanted to mention also ka, the interrogative particle, as a reminder. We have seen some words with it that adds the some meaning to those words. So yeah, in that case would be some time. or even better, more often than not, as in someday. But yeah, just as a reminder of that, yeah, then we also have demo, which is close to the mo. Yeah. Demo includes the mo, the inclusive particle. Funny enough. But yeah, those are the ever words. Yeah, in our case would be whenever. Itsu demo, whenever. Yeah, here we have anytime becomes then always. Then we have kane. You might remember that we have seen it, don't think in this series, but in a previous one, the word kane, or at least I mentioned it for money, more often than not with the honorific prefix, so okane, unaccented either way. Kane on its own technically also metal, because that's actually the origin. But yeah, this one would use, considering also the context, another kanji, and would mean bell. Yeah, so the bell of a church. But yeah, most likely because actually bells are made of metal, and yeah, so that's most likely the why we still use the word kane for it, even though nowadays we use, of course, different kanji when we're writing with kanji, because Chinese had different kanji for those words. And yeah, by the way, kane also for bell, also an accent, and yeah, so yeah, more likely than not related. Then we have the subject particle ga. Then we have the verb naru. You might remember a naru, actually in that case accented, which means to become. But yeah, this is actually a different verb. Naru. And by the way, this one is unaccented. And yeah, it means to sound, to ring, to resound, technically also to echo, even though there's a specific verb for that. Yeah, the fundamental meanings would be to sound, and so often to ring of bells, for example. Yeah, so last but not least, we have the final sentence particle wa. We've seen it before in this very series. It's female language, female term or language, indicates emotion or admiration, but yeah, in this case simply quote-unquote emotion. Technically can be used as simple emphasis, and not just as a female term or language, but yeah, that's actually in Kansai dialect, so yeah, more often than not you see it as a female term or language, but yeah, because a woman is speaking, so yeah, makes sense. And yeah, so the full translation is let's keep it as it's more convenient with an implied S4, so an implied topic particle for the church. As for the church of this town, although there isn't even a priest, the bell, its implied bell, always, anytime literally, rings. And yeah, so that's actually a clue, as we'll see soon enough. Let's continue. Okay, we have this building, and we had an old woman that left there. One that says simply hi konnichiwa as usual. Yeah, these are the usual random NPCs. And this was the one for the konnichiwa. Let's enter this building quickly. And yeah, here this man says it's another clue for something else, as we'll see, not immediately. Not one we'll use immediately, but yeah, still will be useful. Ruto ni sumu era ga shinden no koto o shitteru hazu da. First and foremost, we have Ruto, as in the proper name of the town we have already visited. Then we have ni. In this case, a particle which used as a locative particle. The one again used with verbs of existence. Locative verbs, better I should say. Also considering the one we have here, which is sumu. I think accented, but we'll check. Other verbs use the particle for the location in at instead. But yes, sumu, accented, yes, means to live, of humans, to reside, to inhabit, to dwell, to abide, yeah, to live, as in the sense to reside, and so on. And yeah, so that's why I mentioned location with locative verbs, yeah, verbs that have the meaning of being, staying at a certain location. Also in the sense that we can see here, as in living there. After that we have a noun. So actually, again, this up to this verb, yeah, we have a relative clause as usual, referred to and modifying era. Era, as we have seen, error, but yeah, it's the proper name of that this NPC who lives in Ruto. And yeah, as it says here. Then we have the subject particle ga. Then we have shinden. We have seen it before because it's the Japanese word used in this game for the palaces of this game. It actually means in Japanese temple, shrine, or sanctuary. They adapted it into palace without just because. But yeah, unaccented because yes, it's another Chinese compound. Then we have the possessive particle no. Then we have koto, a noun which we have seen, I've actually mentioned several times. We have seen it some times at least in previous series. Not sure if much if at all this one. Koto means is accent on the last syllable. Means thing, as in matter. Can be used also to nominalize verbs because of that, just like no, we've seen another one. Technically, each one of them has its usages. We've seen some of them. But yeah, in this case, it's most likely more like another extended meaning of koto from thing matter makes sense. Circumstances, situation, state of affairs. We could say, by adapting it into English, about the palace. Well, we could keep it simply as the situation or the matters of the palace, of the temple, and so on. Literally in Japanese, palace is the English term for this. Then we have the object particle o, written as one, pronounced as such in careful speech and also singing. Then we have the verb shitte, from shiru. We have seen it before, and funny enough also this time, because of the usual, even though I didn't comment on it again, shiru unaccented is the verb which means to know. We have seen from the shiranai wa woman random NPC. To know, it's a verb, cotton verb, so to make that a form, like in this case, we have to follow the rules. It's in ru, so it becomes a double consonant te. Again, because most likely first it was the continuative form shiri, but then they fell shir te, difficult to pronounce, so the r became the doubling of the consonant, and then the following te, shitte. The form required because then we had iru, the verb to be as in to exist, we have already seen, but when following the te form of a verb, it becomes an auxiliary verb to make the continuing action or continuing state of the verb in te, and so to be doing that action, the action of that verb, or to have add the action of that verb. But yeah, so in this case, let's say technically we use the teiru form in Japanese, but yeah, it's often used simply as in knows. It's worth mentioning because technically shiru has means to know, but kind of like in the sense to get to know. So yeah, makes sense considering that. Then to show that you already know something, you use the teiru form. After that, we have hazu. I think we have seen it before. Not sure if in this also in this series. Technically, it's a noun, unaccented, which would mean knock of a bow or of an arrow, but more often than not nowadays is used as technically an auxiliary, as it says also in the dictionary, but in Japanese it's strictly still a noun, but the meaning becomes should be, bound to be. I always put the focus on that, as you can see from that why from knock of a bow or an arrow we get this extended meaning, the one used nowadays. Expected to be, must be, and so it has these meanings. Being a noun, technically it can stay on its own, can in practice, but simply because we imply what's required, and what's required is da, like in this case, so the copula. And yes, for the translation, it becomes error who lives in Ruto should know literally again the matters, the situation of the palace, of the temple, shrine, and so sanctuary in Japanese. We could adapt it in English, should know about the palace. And yes, so it's a clue as to go back to error for that. Not sure if we straight up have to go back to him or not, but we'll see. Don't remember that. Yeah, let's continue. We can go to the next part of the town. Okay, yeah. This man says something new. And of course something that will be useful actually. He says, Ikada wa minami ni aru kojima no shinden ni aru zo. First and foremost, we have Ikada, which means should be raft. I don't remember if we have actually seen it in Zelda, in the first Zelda. Yeah, that might have been in with the Japanese term, because otherwise it could have been technically in English, but I think it was actually in Japanese also there. It's unaccented. I'm curious to see, because that I don't think we have checked back then. Yeah, I was looking for the potential etymology, but yeah, actually it isn't present at all on Wiktionary, unfortunately. So we simply have to remember it as is. Yeah, it means raft. Yeah, it's the strictly Japanese reading of its corresponding kanji. Technique nowadays actually used written using kana alone. So yeah, you don't even have to worry about that. Then we have wa written as ha. And yeah, so the topic particle I mentioned. As for the raft, then we have Minami, south, means south. We have seen that all these directions, the cardinal directions, the fundamental ones, which use strictly Japanese words, are unaccented. In this case, yeah, Minami, south. Funny enough, we have seen them in the first Zelda and also this very game. But yeah, then we have ni, again the locative particle. In this case, we have then the locative verb aru, already mentioned, to be assumed to exist of objects, or in our case here, places. Because there's after aru we have a noun, so yeah, again, a relative clause, modifying the word Kojima. Yeah, in this case, not the surname of a famous video game creator. But yeah, this is a noun, technically a compound noun, because it comes from ko, a prefix, which means technically there are two, even though they're used as a prefix, uses a certain kanji, but most likely still related. Ko on its own means kid, child, uses a certain kanji, is unaccented. Okay, I wanted to be completely sure, but yeah, it's unaccented. This one is ko, uses a different kanji, but it's most likely related because it means small. Yeah, you can see why. Technically also little, slight, but yeah, the fundamental meaning small. And then we have this jima, actually from shima, and then the consonant gets voiced, and so yeah, we had the duck 10 in Japanese, in kana, because yeah, it's a compound. The second word is of strictly Japanese origin, and yeah, those tend to get changed like that, as we have seen before. But yeah, shima on its own, accent on the last syllable, means island. And yeah, so Kojima, unaccented, be careful, although not surprising again, considering that could be because unaccented words on their own sound like unaccented ones, so yeah. Could be also simply because of that, honestly. But yeah, Kojima, literally small island. So, an islet. Yeah, literally small island. And so yeah, in our case, small island that is to the south. We have to adapt it in English, even though literally in Japanese it will be in ni, as in at, so the usual locative particle for verbs of existence. Then we have the possessive particle no. Then we have shinden again, so temple, shrine, sanctuary. Then we have another ni, of course required because we have another aru. Last but not least, we have the final sentence particle so. Male term or language, in this case, yeah, we have a man speaking to us. Adds force, technically, also command, but yeah, I'd say force, and yeah, honestly, more in the sense of emphasis, and yeah, simply because it's a male term or language. Yeah, so the full translation becomes, as for the raft, it is at the temple, shrine, sanctuary, palace in English term, in the English version, of the small island that is at the south, literally, that is to the south. And yeah, so we got to know where the raft is. Don't remember now, yeah. You might be guessing then, how will we get to that island then, if the raft is there? Yeah, there's something that we'll have to do. I seem to remember vaguely, but I don't know exactly the steps. We'll see it when the time comes. Yeah, now we actually get to the famous church. And yeah, we have, it's closed here, but yeah, we have an open door there. Unfortunately, yeah, you can easily guess we have to use the jump magic, but we don't have enough magic. Let's hope we can find then the old woman. Yeah, I think this might be it. That heals the magic. And yeah, it's this one. Perfect. And yeah, as you can see also here, also in practice this time. Perfect. Let me quickly check what this old woman has to say. Yeah, no, this is the usual random one. Hi, konnichiwa. So yeah, let's use the jump magic here. Oops, from here. And yeah, let's enter here. And yeah, by entering here we can continue to the right. And yeah, we actually have this room, this quote-unquote dungeon. And yeah, we have this NPC. Okay, let's take this one. And yeah, this should then disappear. No, it actually doesn't, so we'll keep it, we'll check it out here. Yeah, this NPC. Yeah, yeah, the raft literally, and yeah, it's technically more of a raft, even though, yeah, it works more like a ship. Yeah, the hi konnichiwa. But yeah, this NPC here says, as we see, a soldier. Yeah, we've actually seen this graphic for an NPC, I think, for the guardian of the bridge in the previous town, in Saria. Might be wrong, but I think that was the case. But yeah, anyway, he says, Jampu shita toki, ki o shita ni irenasai. And yeah, first we have Jampu, jump from English. We've seen it actually accented just like in English, luckily. There are some English words in Japanese that are an exception, but yeah, most are accented as expected, just like in English. By the way, the on its own, but pronounced as such on its own, and also if we were to spell the word ja, pu, but yeah, when pronounced as a whole, the because of the following p, actually becomes an m, jampu. So yeah, just like in English, except of course for the additional u at the end, because Japanese doesn't have p on its own. After that, we have the verb shita from suru. It's the ta form, so the past form of the verb. Unfortunately, suru is one of the completely irregular verbs, so we simply have to remember that it becomes shita. And yeah, suru means to do. And yeah, so literally to do a jump. And yeah, it's used also after English words, like in this case, Chinese compounds, to make the corresponding verb to jump. In this case, after shita, we have the noun toki, accented on the last syllable. Means time, hour, moment, also by extension occasion, case, and so on. But yeah, in practice, when translating, you could say simply when. Yeah, it's used technically in Japanese, it's a relative clause that modifies the noun toki, the moment in which you have jumped. Yeah, that would be the literal translation. Yeah, in practice, you can simply say when you have jumped. Notice that in this case, in English we would simply say most likely when you jump. But yeah, here in Japanese it's quite more specific, because you first have jumped, and after you have jumped, you do the rest. So yeah, there's no ambiguity in that sense in Japanese. Then we have ki, literally key from English. In this case, by the way, it should be accented. Yeah, in this case, it has to be accented on the key, on the first syllable, or even better, it's a single syllable on the first mora, because the accent can't stay on the long vowel mark, on the long vowel in general. But yeah, in this case, key, as we'll see, as in the direction on the D-pad. Then we have the object particle O. Then we have another shita, which isn't the one we have seen above. This one is a noun, unaccented, which means down, bottom, below, beneath. Technically, there's also another shita, which means tongue. That one accent on the last syllable, this one unaccented. We've studied both the kanji of those, by the way, in previous series. In The Legend of Zelda, the first Legend of Zelda, and Kirby's Adventure, you can find, as usual, in which specific parts in the descriptions of their playlists, if you want to review them or you haven't checked them out yet. But yeah, this one is clearly the direction, makes sense then. Then we have ni as a particle. I'd say in this case to, into, required by the verb, as we'll see. But yeah, we'll see in a second when we see now this verb, even though the meaning you might have guessed it now, considering the previous word, the meaning in general. Yeah, the verb is irenasai, from ireru. Ireru is the transitive form of the verb. Technically, we have seen iru, which means to enter. Nowadays, actually used more as hairu is the form used, technically a compound, but yeah, the meaning doesn't change. It means to enter. And that's the intransitive verb. Ireru is the transitive one. Notice again, one in ru, in u, and one in eru. But yeah, it means to put in, to let in, to take in, to insert, and so on. Yeah, so in our case, literally would be to put in down, put the key in down. So yeah, simply press down is a way, a more convoluted way we could say to say press down. But yeah, ireru is a ru verb, it's a verb. So we can drop the ru to make the continuative form of the verb. In this case, required because then to add nasai. Nasai we have seen is a verb also on its own, nasaru, which means to do. The honorific form of suru, or even better, respectful form of suru, then we have to, we can drop the ru and add I. Actually, as mentioned before, technically we would make the continuative form of the verb by changing the ru into I, so nasari. But then the R fell in this case, it's only I remained. And this is typical of these honorific verbs, nasaru, which becomes nasai, kudasaru, we've also seen kudasai. Continuative form, which would be required because then there would be masse, the imperative form of mas, the auxiliary verb, to make the polite form of verbs. Most of the time nowadays implied. There are some expressions in which it's still used, but most of them now, like in nasai, it's always implied, also in kudasai. Yeah, so please do. So yeah, an imperative polite form. Please put the key towards the bottom, we could say also. Yeah, so in the sense again of press down. Literally at the moment in which you have jumped, when you have jumped. And yeah, so actually, as we see, yeah, we don't get a spell here. We actually got a sword technique, and a quite useful one. Yeah. And yeah, as you can see here, yeah, it's the downward thrust. Yeah, you might recognize it from Smash Bros. Because yeah, it came from this game. Yeah, they got it from this game to then put it in Smash Bros. And yeah, quite useful there, quite useful also in this game. And yeah, let's leave then. Actually, let's check what the NPC has to say, if says anything else. Yeah, I think this is exactly the same that the old the magicians tell you if you visit them again. So I won't translate it word by word, but yeah, they say simply I have nothing more to teach you. Be careful and go. Yeah, pretty sure we have seen it before, so yeah, let's not waste more time there. Let's continue. To see, yeah, we have this woman here. And this is the one I think that we won't be able to do anything Well, actually, this is the one we've seen. Sorry, this is the one we've seen before for the magic. Yeah, let's fully heal it again. Let's continue to the other side then of the town. Okay, this is the one I was thinking of. And yeah, this old woman says, Musume ga yamai de shinsouja. And then technically it stops there, but yeah, then after that she only says oi oi. So yeah, let's say it immediately. But yeah, first and foremost we have Musume, means daughter. I think accented on the last syllable, and yes it is. And so in this case we actually hear it, the accent, because we added the particle, the subject particle ga. So yeah, musume ga. So low, high, high, low. Then we have yamai, which means illness. Accent on the first syllable, okay. I want to quickly check a certain something about its origin. Yeah, technically, as you might guess also from the E at the end, even though nowadays it isn't used as such, this counts is technically a continuative form of an older verb yama-u. Actually, yama-fu at the time, yama-pu originally. As we mentioned, all the verbs in u are like that. And so yeah, we changed the u into i, yama-fi, yama-pi, but then the p fell, and so yamai. And yeah, so the continuative form and so the corresponding noun. And yeah, yamau meant to suffer from a disease. And yeah, nowadays we only use yamai. Weirdly enough, accent on the first syllable despite this origin, so but yeah, be careful. But yeah, nowadays only that is used, and yeah, it means illness, disease. By extension also bad habit, weakness, fault. But yeah, the fundamental meaning and the literal one is illness, disease. Then we have the particle de, with, in this case, more than the means, in the sense of the cause. We'll see why. Because of the following verb, shiniso, from the verb shinu. I think I actually mentioned it before because of the number 4, the pronunciation of the Chinese pronunciation of the number 4, which would be shi. And yeah, unfortunately, close to both the Chinese pronunciation of the kanji for death, which is shi, but yeah, also shinu, which is technically the strictly Japanese word, but could be related, despite that, to those. Unaccented, yeah, it means to die, to pass away. By extension, also to lose spirit, to lose vigor, as in to look dead. Also to cease, to stop, but yeah, the fundamental meaning, to die. It's a verb, godan verb, so we can change the u into i. to make the continuative form, in this case required to then add so, an auxiliary adjective, in this case, an adjective, we should say, with the continuative form of verbs, we have the one which means appearing that, seeming that, looking like, having the appearance of. And yeah, so looks like, based on the appearance, I always specify that because there's another so, which requires other forms of the verb. Well, again, we've actually seen it before, I think at least once. It requires the final form, so usually dictionary form of the verb. So in this case would be shinu. That one is it seems, as in hearsay, and not isn't, because it looks like that. Yeah, it looks like she will die. She's about to die. Yeah, by the way, present, the present in Japanese can be used also as the future. So yeah, even more so, we use that. Last but not least, we have the, since so is technically an adjective, yeah, we have the copula za in our case, because it's the copula used in fiction by old characters, and yeah, we have an old lady here. And last but not least, we have this oi oi. Of course, more often you see it accented either way, I think, on the first syllable, oi oi. More often than not, you see it as the doubling of oi, which also on its own means hey, say, come on. So yeah, next interjection, exclamation. So yeah, as simply the doubling of that, oi oi. So yeah, like hey, hey. But yeah, in this case, of course, it's actually an onomatopoeia. And yeah, as you might guess from the context, yeah, it's a boohoo, a wah, yeah, so a crying, yeah, of course. Her daughter looks like she'll die. Yeah, of course, she's crying, the poor old lady. And yeah, that's why we actually need the water of life. And yeah, we'll actually get it. We have to get it then. Yeah, the usual random one that says konnichiwa. Let's check all these NPCs. Yeah, no, this was the other one again. Hi, hi, konnichiwa. Yeah, I think those were all random NPCs, the usual ones. Yeah, the hurrying one. Konnichiwa. And yeah, as you can see, we have again the sign. The Shiranai wa, we can see it again there. I can't actually check it, but yeah, so of course this is the end of the town, so we leave. And yeah, unfortunately we don't have more time. Let's actually go back. I'll go back from here. Yeah, we don't have more time, so we'll have to find the water of life next time to rescue, of course, the old lady's daughter. Yeah, let's actually do it like this. Then let's use the save state to save. And yeah, we can now close the game. And yeah, so today we left the water town of Saria. We went through Death Mountain, we got to Spectacle Rock, got the hammer, and then died, as we have seen, got the game over. And yeah, unfortunately, as we we have seen in practice that sends you back to the North Castle. So yeah, that's why we wanted to avoid it at all costs for now. But yeah, immediately after getting the hammer, it isn't an issue, at least for now, since we could destroy the boulder and get back to where we were quickly enough. But yeah, we went back to get a magic container next to where the hammer was, in Spectacle Rock. We got to see the small map of the first Zelda in this game. But yeah, after that we then actually went the correct not in reverse like we did to get to that point. To get here, by mistake, I actually got a hard container, I think, earlier than the walkthrough with the maps I'm checking. But yeah, we got it already, so nice. We unfortunately didn't get the Water of Life, which we'll need. But yeah, then we arrived at the harbor town, the port town, Mido. Went around it. We got the downward thrust. But yeah, we then got to hear about the Water of Life. Yeah, we really have to find it. So next time, which unless plans change should be on Monday, we'll actually get that, and yeah, then we'll give it, of course, to the older woman, and yeah, we'll continue from that then. Of course, there's also, again, unless plans change, a stream this Sunday, and yeah, this time we'll play for sure Sonic Racing Crosswords, because Nights got released, and yeah, there's the related festival, and yeah, and so we finally also see the Switch 2 version of the game on stream. But yeah, see you on Monday for this series, on Sunday for Sonic Racing Crosswords, and yeah, see you next time.